Hello, and welcome to Tea Time, sponsored by New Jersey Tea Party Coalition. I'm Ray, and I'll be your host for tonight. We have a very exciting show. As you know, in about 50 more days, we're coming up to the most crucial election our country will have seen. And it really is important. It's for our freedom. We really need to get out the vote. We want to change the course of our country. We want to take it back to the way our founding fathers meant for it to be. And having said that, we have one of our very own members, Anna Vreeland, who has come up with an initiative, her and her husband, called gotv, or Get Out the Vote. So Anna, welcome.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for having me here tonight.
Well, thank you for being here. And this is such an exciting thing that you're doing, and I hope that you can explain to everyone exactly what gotv is, and,
sure.
and also how you became involved in this endeavor.
I'll be excited too. gotv really started as a small idea at the kitchen table in our house, and it's been embraced by New Jersey Tea Party Coalition, and I'm very thankful for that. And what the movement is really a grassroots movement of finding like-minded individuals and making sure that we can get them out to vote, because that's so important. What I want you to think about is really a power of 5. If I can bring 5 people, and then the 5 people can bring 5 more people, now we have 25 people who can bring 5 people more. All of a sudden we have 125 people who are looking for 5 people more. So it's really the multiplier. And what's important about this is we do follow a plan.
Okay.
What we try to do in gotv is we try to follow what's been presented at the National Tea Party Convention that took place in February in Nashville.
Right.
There was a presentation given, and it came from the website, thevoicesofamerica.org. And what the two founders of that organization did, they stressed the importance of organizing Get Out the Vote in a neighborhood level, not on a national level, but really making a difference in your town, in reaching out to your neighbors. And I'm going to share an example with you, because I was very impressed by the presentation that I did watch. And what was presented to us was an average district. And for the simplicity of the math, a number of 1,000 eligible voters was used.
Right.
Of the 1,000 voters in the average district, about 80% are registered. Of the 80%, 60% vote in midterm and in general elections. And only 30% vote in primaries. And yet,
wow,
that's where the candidates are chosen.
Sure.
So if you do think about 1,000 eligible voters,
Right.
all of a sudden you have 200 who are not even registered.
Wow.
And you have anywhere from 300 to 500 who don't vote. They're registered and they don't vote. And you know what made a huge impact on me during the presentation was the importance of how little it takes to win elections. For example, Jimmy Carter
Right.
won Ohio by as little as 1 vote per district.
Wow.
That's 650 votes.
Wow.
And you know, you can just reach out to somebody who you know, one person, and we're not even talking about 5. And if you can bring 5, all of a sudden it's really easy to take elections back. The town I live in Bergen County, we have about 6,000 registered voters. And in the last primary elections, we've elected a councilman with 200 votes.
And out of 6,000?
Out of 6,000.
Wow.
And in the school board elections, we had 2 candidates. We could not even find a 3rd candidate who was willing to run.
Wow.
So the 3rd candidate was elected by 50 write-in votes. If you know people in your town, if you belong to organizations, if you know people who belong to organizations, you can go and talk to your neighbors about what's going on in the neighborhood. You can get 50 of your neighbors together, write in the name of the candidate, and have somebody who shares your value system, who is a fiscal conservative, who believes in limited government, who believes in free market. Represent your town and represent the people. So,
well, specifically for this coming election, okay, which is really crucial, And it's important that everybody who can vote get out to vote. And so can you give specifics, say, for, like myself, I plan to get out to vote in my town. How specifically I would go about doing that?
Oh, absolutely. Couple of ideas that we do want to share with people is, and it's actually share the tools with them of what they can do. And what you can do, step one is you want to identify the like-minded voters. You can go into your town clerk or a county clerk and you can obtain the registered voter list. That list will give you names of registered voters, their addresses, their party affiliation, and also their frequency of voting, so you know whether they vote or not. Some of them could be your neighbors. And if you now think back to the 300 to 500 people per 1,000 who don't vote, all of a sudden you can strike conversations with them, and you can encourage them to take stand, to exercise their most important right and go out and vote. You know, the funny thing happened a few weeks ago. I was talking to my neighbor, and she approached me and she said, Anna, I'm going away. Can you please water my plants? And I said, sure. And we talked a little bit more, and I said, you know, I'm going to a Glenn Beck rally tomorrow. And she says, oh my goodness, my husband loves Glenn Beck. So I said, well, when you come back, I can invite you for coffee. I can show you pictures and videos from the event. And she says, I would love to. And you know what? The two new people moved in next to me. You haven't had a chance to meet them yet. Can I bring them along? And I said, sure, but do you know if they like going back? And she says, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And, you know, and I actually started sharing with her what we are doing with gotv. She is very active in our town, in the local church. And we actually are planning a meeting in the church to introduce our efforts. So a simple conversation that started with watering the plants, now it's actually getting out, and we're doing something about it. So it's really easy. And, you know, to go back to your earlier question, why are we doing this? Because it's so important that people do take action and they do something. You know, I've been to so many rallies, and they're absolutely wonderful. You do meet the like-minded people. And then you go home, and then you wonder, what else can I do?
Exactly.
Instead of just making a sign and going and making my presence known, what else can I do? And you know, and the rallies are like the pep rallies prior to the sporting events, but they just don't win the games. It's the votes. It's the votes that make the difference. So that's why I'm doing this, because I do believe that as little as one vote can make the difference.
So